Here she is, the one, the only, Jessica Anderson from Anderson Couture with another fine edition of the Alice Love Court.
I love the drama.
Oh, shoot.
In session.
Sorry. I was focusing on my love court and not my gavel.
All right. So this is kind of a different question. I don't think we've ever had
We
in the love
have never had this question. So
Intriguing.
Dear Jessica, I have a 6-year-old daughter and a 10-year-old son with my ex-wife. We have joint custody. My ex-wife has a new boyfriend who is in his early 20s. She is turning 40 next month. Apparently, she's having some sort of midlife crisis and is trying to reclaim her youth. Whatever she wants to do is fine with me, but it has come to my attention that she's leaving the kids with babysitters until the early morning hours so that she can go clubbing with her new friends. Sometimes she even leaves the kids overnight. What can I do about this? I don't want my kids to fall through the cracks of this arrangement. If she can't take care of them or wants to pursue a different life, then I think the kids should just live with me full time. Do I have a case?
Whoa. Yeah, this is a definite midlife crisis situation.
Okay, so their parenting plan may have something, and I know we've talked about this before, but the right of first refusal, where if you're going to be away from your children for, a certain period of time, you have to offer the other parent that time. And if they're not available to take the kids, then you can get a babysitter or, have grandma watch them or whatever. But typically those rights of first refusal have a certain hour requirement, like 6 hours, 12 hours. I mean, normally it's not okay to have a right of first refusal that's going to, like if mom has to go to work and the kids are off school, she has to give them to dad instead of getting a babysitter.
Right.
That
makes sense.
Working hours. So most of the time, I personally advise my clients don't do rights of first refusal that are less than 24-hour period or a 12-hour period, like an overnight situation. So first, the BFF needs to check his parenting plan to see if he has a right of first refusal and figure out if she's violating it. If there's no right of first refusal, then you could motion the court to get one. If you think this is an issue, that if she's going to be gone overnight, she should definitely be asking you to take the kids. I suspect that she's not doing that because she doesning want him in her business.
That's
it sounds like he might, and I'm just, I don't know this for sure, but he might be, paying a lot of attention to what she's doing outside of her, out of her parenting. I mean, how does he know she's clubbing? Someone's
how old's
telling
her boyfriend?
Right.
Yeah.
How does he?
That
know
might
all
be the
this?
real question.
All of these details.
Yeah.
Does he wear Ed Hardy shirts?
Right, exactly. So, he needs to kind of take a step back and figure out, why is he really worried? Is this babysitter issue a big deal? I don't think it rises to the level of him getting full custody or even primary custody. I think that, if she's violating the right of first refusal, that needs to be called to her attention. She needs to stop doing that. Overnights, any parent that's leaving their kid overnight should offer it to the other parent. I personally believe that is just a good co-parenting thing. But if you're really acrimonious, then you can't get along, and what's good for the goose is good for the gander if he's doing it too, those kind of things. But I think the main thing would be, try to figure out if he has a right of first refusal, and if he doesn't, if he wants to get one, to see if that'll curb the issue.
Whoa.
Yep. Ooh.
And also stop stalking her Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop doing that.
Don't ask everyone to go spy on them at their dates at the club.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Crazy. Hey, we have a great portal set up on our website, alice965.com. Jessica, you answer every single question you receive.
I do. Sometimes we have a back and forth via email. Sometimes they need more in-depth conversation. And if they do, they can call us at 775-823-0049.
When our BFFs hit us up on our Alice Mo Show phone, 775-302-5096. BFF-V, that's where we're going to call her, hit us up in the last break, and she's like, I'm contemplating a divorce, and I'm thinking about a Nevada quick divorce.
Okay.
Can you ask Jessica about this? Basically, the stats on her, she's been married for about 3 years. They have no kids, but they do have a house in South Meadows that they've owned for about a year and a half.
Okay.
So is a Nevada quickie divorce right for her situation?
So generally, if you don't have kids and you don't have a lot of property in dispute, you can go to the self-help center at the family court and get the packet. the joint petition for summary divorce packet, or you can pay money and have one of those services prepare everything for you. It's basically the same, in my opinion. I mean, you're filling it out, or someone who is not a lawyer is filling it out. Right. You are also not a lawyer. So, it's same as far as I'm concerned. The one thing that I would say, and I've said this before, is I would say, 40% of my practice is post-divorce disputes stemming from divorce decrees that were either prepared by one of those services or by people on their own without having lawyers' advice. And the reason for that is there are things you forget to provide for. For instance, this house situation, she owns a house with him. That means probably they're both on the mortgage. They both own the house. Just because he's going to quit claim the house to her doesn't mean that they're totally, that relationship regarding the house is severed. He's probably still on the loan. So there has to be a provision in there that has to do with refinance. How long, does she have to refinance to remove him as an obligor on the loan? If there's a payout, if she's keeping the house and there's some sort of equalizing payment that needs to happen, when does that happen? Or are they just going to, it's easy. If they're just going to sell it and divide the proceeds, then that's an easy case, right?
That's a lot of details.
On that same thing, I got a question here for you. Of course, housing prices went through the roof and now are starting to stabilize or go back down.
Right.
What happens in that? If they've been in this house for a year and a half, more than likely they paid an inflated rate on this house.
Right. So it's whatever their equity is, right? So it's fair market value at the time of divorce, less whatever the mortgage balance is. That's the equity. There's closing costs if they're going to sell or refinance, so those things all have to be factored in. But yeah, your house is what it is what it is. And it's with the value at the time of divorce, not at the time of marriage or not in between,
These are a lot of details that you really don't think about.
I said, a lot of my practice is fixing the mistakes. The mistakes and the omissions, just the things you didn't think about. Mm-hmm. So it's always a good idea. And like I said, a couple love courts ago, we do divorce coaching at my office, which can include, even if you don't want to hire us to actually prepare the paperwork, I will look over your joint petition that you prepare from the self-help center. And for, a pretty nominal fee, tell you what you're missing. I'm not going to do it for you, but I'll tell you what you need to include. So
I like that.
That's really cool.
A little bit of advice goes a long way. Jessica, you got a great portal set up on our website, alice965.com. You can you answer every single question you receive.
I do. And, a lot of times people need to come in and actually sit down with me or my partner, John Kusher, and have a face-to-face meeting or a phone meeting about, what's going on in their divorce. And they can call us at 775-823-0049.